Welcome to All Things Retreat podcast. I'm Holly Porter, your host and CEO of Retreat R&R. With over 25 years of experience in designing transformative retreats, I'm here to share insights and inspiration to help you create extraordinary experiences. Whether you're a pro or just starting out, you'll find valuable ideas here. Enjoy the ride. Let's dive in. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show today. We're going to be talking again about retreat stuff, right? With the name Like All Things Retreat podcast, what do you expect? But listen into us. We've got another great guest. Her name's Teresa Porter. She's the founder of Serene Yoga. It's a Gilbert, Arizona-based wellness. She's a wellness expert with more than 20 years of experience in massage, yoga, and emotional release. Her whole person approach has helped clients ranging from NFL athletes to executives, earning her features on ABC 15 and iHeartRadio. A mother of three, Teresa now focuses on teaching corporate wellness, expanding her reach to help more people find balance and transformation in their lives. Welcome to the show, Teresa.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, we're happy to have you. Anytime we're talking about things for our health, I perk right up because
yes, me too.
I always had my health until I didn't. And then it was like, oh, wow, this is what it was like. And so I'm a lot more sympathetic and fight a lot harder because better's better. So
yes.
Well, I have prepared a few questions. We'll just have a conversation here today about some things, but I want to know, for people just meeting you, what led you into bodywork, yoga, and emotional release more than 20 years ago?
So everything I do is because I needed it first in my own healing journey. So short version is I got into bodywork because I was in a car accident when I was in 8th grade. My family and I were T-boned. And I was a gymnast at the time, and I got severe whiplash. I had to stop gymnastics for a year. I couldn't do 8th grade PE because I had so much pain. And my mom started taking me to other practitioners, and it wasn't until I started going to natural practitioners, including a massage therapist, that my body started to heal. And so at that age, I was fascinated by the difference of going to these Western doctors, traditional medicine, and then going to these natural doctors, and my body started responding differently. So I was like a sponge. I was like, tell me more, tell me more. So that was what led me to go into massage. And then I had my first daughter in 2002, and I had chronic back pain. The doctors couldn't diagnose again what was going on. So I got into yoga and Pilates, and that was life-changing. And so I wanted to learn the science behind both. And I went to Scottsdale Community College, and I got training for my yoga training. And then I also did a Pilates certification at the same time. And then I got into emotional release because as life happens, heavy things happen. And I was trying to go to talk therapy, cognitive therapy, to work through some of the challenges. And it was helping, but I just still felt the heaviness of it, and I couldn't let some things go. And so I started going to a practitioner who did emotional release techniques, including like hypnotherapy, EFT, and emotion code. And I, again, noticed a huge difference in my body, be able to just didn't have that constant pull and heaviness anymore, because if, you hold on to these mental and emotional stuff, it starts to show up physically. And that's what I saw in my body work. So long story short, I started learning emotional release techniques, blending it with my body work. And then it kind of evolved into my own methodology I call the Porter method, where I use a blend of my yoga background, emotional release techniques, added with some of my trauma healing. And then I do energy work to kind of balance it out. So that's kind of how I got into those 3 different modalities per se.
Yeah, and you did when we were on a networking call, and we were in a breakout room, and you did your Porter technique, did you call it?
It's called the Porter cocktail. So it's a 3-step process to help release stress and anxiety, and can act as an instant reset.
Yeah, I loved it. Do you have that recorded anywhere where somebody could get it, or how do you do that?
Probably. If not, I have a document that I could share, like walks them through the 3 steps and like spells it out what to do. I mean, it's just a combination of breath work, saying a mantra, and grounding and gratitude, but evaluating the body before and after, and them noticing the difference before and after those 3 steps. And that's where people start to realize your body can have a visceral somatic response.
Yeah.
When we cultivate and bring in like breath work, yoga, being in nature, that's when our body can respond and change. The frequency and vibration can change in our body drastically and quickly.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely not the biggest fan of talk therapy. I move things through things really quickly. And so I love that we have these other modalities we can use. I'm a big fan of hypnosis. I'm trained in hypnosis, EFT. So I am such a supporter of those things because I feel like why have to relive it? Even in a hypnosis
Yes.
session, you might be reliving it, but just for that short period of time and then it's gone. And so I love that we can do things without having to speak it and
Yes.
hash through all the emotions with it. What's one small daily practice that can make a big difference for someone who's feeling constantly on?
This is one of the concepts I talk about in corporate is having healthy boundaries with your phone and how many notifications do you have on your phone. And so this is something I saw in Bodywork is they'd be in a 60, 90-minute session with me and I could see their phone lighting up
Blowing up.
is on silent, but then they get out of their session
Yeah.
most of the time finally in parasympathetic state, right, which is relaxed and relaxation.
Yeah.
Then they would be instantly go to their phone to pay me or to reschedule, and they'd be pulled back in because of all those notifications. So this is a big one I talk about in corporate is evaluate how many notifications you have on your phone and put boundaries of like my phone goes on do not disturb at 9 o'clock and it doesn't come back on until 7 a.m. Only my important contacts. So that's one thing that is really important. A CEO of a bank that I work with, he took off when I did this challenge of inviting them to look at how many notifications. He took 40 notifications off his phone. He didn't realize how that constant digital buzz, even though he had on silent, he could hear it vibrating, was fueling his anxiety that he already struggled with. And he said it's made a huge difference throughout the day of just feeling more grounded, not feeling on all the time that instant. Because when you hear that ding, you feel like you have to go instantly return that text. You have to check that email, that social media keeps you in a sympathetic state. So it keeps you in fight, flight, or freeze.
Yeah, it's so true. A year ago about now, I just turn off my ringer unless I am expecting a call because I check my phone a ton, I mean, I still am a real estate broker. So, people need to get a hold of you. I want them to be able to get a hold of me, but it's, oh my gosh, what a relief. And the other one I notice a lot of people have is like news notifications. I mean, I don't really watch the news, and
Neither do I.
that's kind of, you go down that rabbit hole, and that's right now, especially there's so many, I mean, it's just gonna be ding, 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 ding. And I would challenge a listener listening right now. If you have like news alerts coming through, do you really need to know that stuff? I mean, is once a day enough? Maybe you could go check in on that. I mean, it's so
a couple
heavy.
times a week, not even once a day.
I agree.
Yeah.
I challenge our listeners that would be something I would think you could feel a lot of less stress and relief not buying into all that right now. If someone feels disconnected from their body, where's the safest place for them to start?
That's a good one because I talk about that a lot. Safest place for them to start. I think it really comes back to putting tools and practices into their daily routine that's going to help regulate their nervous system. So just like we talked about before is fight, flight, or freeze. We live in a society that's stuck in autopilot. And when we're stuck in autopilot, that keeps us out of our body because we're always up here, right? We're always thinking of the next thing, our to-do list, our agenda, our meetings, especially in corporate, that we get out of our body because we become more logical and more task-oriented. And so there's a practice that I share that I actually cultivated years ago, probably 15 years ago. I say years ago, but concept of time goes by really fast. But helps you get off of autopilot more in your body is you ask yourself 2 questions on a regular basis. I recommend first thing in the morning throughout the day is how am I feeling and what do I need? So when I teach this as relationship to self-practice. I ask adults, how many of you stop and check in with yourself and ask, how am I feeling and what do I need? Nobody raises their hands in the room. And that's a place to help start to get you off of autopilot back in your body, because then you'll start saying, oh man, I'm hungry. I just worked through my lunch break, right? So that's part of being out of your body is you start to turn off and numb and suppress what your body is trying to tell you, because your body is always talking to you.
Yeah.
It's a matter if we slow down enough to listen. So it's like our body whispers, hey, we're tired, we're irritated, we're hungry, we're thirsty, but we're going to power through until you can't anymore. And then the symptoms, the signals gets louder and louder until your body is like, okay, you're not listening. shut down.
Yeah.
So that's helping you get back more in your body. That's a practice that can be really powerful to help you feel safe. And it can be baby steps. When I started this practice, I literally be like, okay, I'm going to take 20 minutes and just eat my lunch. I'm not going to multitask. Because again, that's another way to regulate your nervous system, not always multitasking. Or I feel like if I was working from home, I was like, okay, I'm brain fog. I'm going to go take my nap. I'm going to take like a 15-minute power nap and not dismiss those little things, because the more you regulate your nervous system and pause like that throughout the day, that'll get you more in your body.
Yeah. And that word presence, and being and aware is huge, just to know. What does transformation really mean to you after doing this work for so long?
That's a big question. Transformation. I feel like there's layers that you go through in transformation. And so I feel like part of transformation is really disrupting, I call this your patterns, which is your habits, your operating systems, and your behaviors. So really disrupting them in a way that not like you're necessarily not going to ever do them again, because we're human.
Yeah.
So you gain awareness quicker. You catch yourself in the act. That's transformation, right? So like if you always reactive and you're stressed out, but then you catch yourself reacting, you learn to calm the nervous system, you start responding more, that is going to help you make more sustainable transformation. Something I heard the past 2 years, I've been in a really deep healing journey myself. Again, another layer.
Yeah.
I've been working with a trauma-trained therapist and equine therapy, which has been life-changing, life-giving. But the horse trainer said this to me, and it stuck with me. Expect regression 100% of the time. So when you fall back, you're not going to beat yourself up.
Yeah.
Because when we beat ourselves up, we push ourselves back down. And then we have lack of self-esteem, confidence. But if you know you're going to regress, then again, you have awareness quicker. Then you can make changes quicker, pivot and turn, apologize to the person, or, tomorrow's a new day. I'm going to get up and do the thing I didn't do today. That's, I feel like, true transformation is how are you going to have more sustainable change?
Yeah. Well, I've noticed my friend put something on her social media, I think just yesterday, actually. And she had a near-death experience like I did. And she had a surgery yesterday, and it triggered her PTSD. I mean, there's those trauma triggers. And I think when you learn to have those tools and skills, and retreats are a great place to learn how to do things like that. It was interesting because I commented, I said, wow, it's interesting how little things can trigger that PTSD. I mean, my hospital stay was 70 days, and I think hers was like 4 months. I mean, she was in the hospital a long time. So it's just knowing there's tools out there to help us, but that doesn't mean you're fixed forever. Like there could be sometimes a scent, or sometimes a visual or a movie or a song can trigger, those trauma emotions. So I love that you found the equine. I think I've never done that, but I think that's a really important thing for so many. So thanks for sharing.
Very powerful.
Yeah. What can you tell us about, you have an upcoming retreat yourself. What can you tell us about it, and what inspired you to create it, and why now?
Well, I've been hosting retreats off and on since 2009, and it started as mini hiking yoga retreats in Phoenix with my yoga students. And it was a way to get away from the classroom to have a more outdoor experience, because power of being outside, again, helps to regulate your nervous system, helps to ground you, but also was away from everyday life so that people could connect with themselves, connect with each other and nature. And so I love doing stuff outside, and I see the power in it. So I partner with different people over my, I guess, a decade and a half. But the upcoming retreat I have in Page, Arizona, is Antelope Canyon was always been on my bucket list. But I kept, as most of us, we don't have the time when life slows down. We have all the excuses. We don't do that thing on our bucket list. And I finally did it, and I experienced it with my dad. And when I was there, we did a 48-hour road trip together. We went to Antelope Canyon and Horseshoe Bend, 2 places on my bucket list. And I was like, oh my gosh, this place is amazing. I want to kayak down in the Horseshoe Bend in the Colorado River.
Yeah, so amazing. Loved it.
And so a year later, I came again. I feel like God puts people, events, people across our path. I found someone who had the same vision as having retreats to be a way to disconnect or unplug from our current situation. Because when we take ourselves out of our daily mundane stuff sometime, that's where we start to really disrupt those patterns, because it's something so different and drastic that we have time away from everything, that we can actually be more in our body. We can regulate our nervous system.
Right.
And she's a health coach. So what we created with the Untethered Wellness Retreat was experiences to do all of that. So she helps teach people and educate people about nutrient-dense food. Her name's Carrie Camp. And what does it mean to cook in a way and read labels when you go to the grocery store to help lower inflammation in your body, increase the protein, all the things. But then I threw out the retreat. So one day we go to Antelope Canyon. We do breath work and yoga in the canyon. Last year we did. It was amazing. Like just once you walk down into that, the energy drastically changes how you feel inside. And then we had cooking demos, culinary experiences with her expertise. And then we went kayaking down the Colorado River, which just being on the river helps to regulate your nervous system. We did yoga along the way. I talked about different topics, kind of like we already talked about, like how do you regulate your nervous system? What are some tools? What are healthy boundaries that you create in your life? And all the attendees got a guide of the 8 different keys that I teach in corporate. And so we had little talks and reflection time and connection time throughout the retreats. So our vision was to really create an opportunity where people can start to disrupt those patterns. One of the attendees was a massage client of mine for over 10 years. She has been trying to change her diet because of some autoimmune disease she has struggles with, and she knows diet was a big piece feeding into it. She's tried, but she's been so like, I just don't feel like I have the motivation. She came to this retreat. She actually was shown and taught how to implement these things throughout her day, and she left so motivated. She actually texted me and was like, I'm actually making the recipes, I'm doing the breath work, I'm doing the stuff that we were taught. And she just, that weekend gave her an opportunity to really be motivated, but also feel like these tools are actually feasible to fit back into my lifestyle.
Yeah.
So that's what inspired this retreat. I really love creating experiences to, when you create an experience, again, drops people out of here, the business of everyday life, into their body. They feel the difference. They're more willing and motivated to implement.
I agree. So walk us through, I'm like going through my questions I have here to ask you, and you're like answering them. I'm like, check. Walk us through what someone can expect the moment they arrive.
So we arrive on a Thursday night. It's kind of, everybody gets to meet each other. They get to hear their why of why they signed up for this retreat. What kind of are they have expectations, what they're looking for, what tools or what are they struggling with. We have a dinner together that Carrie cooks for us, and the food was amazing. Again, low carb, low sugar, super high protein. And that's Thursday night. Friday morning, we get up, we go to Antelope Canyon. We take a private tour there with a guide. And then we'll get to do yoga and breath work. And then everybody goes back and they have lunch, time to their own. We are intentional about having time throughout where people can not be a part of the group the whole time. So it's more for integration, processing if they want to go back to the hotel. So they get to pick their own lodging. But we have a house where we all meet for like the meet and greet dinner, for dinner on Friday night. And that's a cooking demo. So she gets to we had high protein, no carb lasagna, meatballs, cooked zucchini, all different types of dressings that she got to demonstrate. And Saturday we went to kayak the Colorado River. We had a tour guide. It's like a 45-minute boat ride. They drop us off. We get to kayak down the Colorado River as long as we want. Anytime they can come pick you up. And then that night you're on your own to go have dinner. Most of them went to the top of Horseshoe Bend to see from a different perspective because we were in it.
And like little ants at the top when you're down there, huh?
Such a different perspective.
Crazy.
And then on Sunday morning, it's a farewell breakfast. So it kind of like, what questions do you have? She taught them how to make a high protein breakfast, low carbs again. And she gave probably 20 recipes with all of the stuff that she shared and more. So that's kind of a high level or with more detail of what to expect.
Okay, so we're near the end, but let's do some rapid fire stuff. So just answer these as quick as you can.
Okay.
One word to describe the energy of your upcoming retreat.
Connection.
Sunrise practice or evening
Sunrise.
One thing people should not bring with them.
Their to-do list, their laptop, like just completely unplug.
Okay. One thing they absolutely should bring.
Open mind, open heart.
Silence or soulful conversation.
Soulful conversation.
Movement or stillness.
That's a hard one.
Yep.
I'm in place for both, but I would say movement.
Okay. Coffee, tea, or cacao?
For me, coffee. Love coffee.
Journal or no journal?
Journal.
All right. And who is this retreat that you're having specifically not for?
Not for. I would say, if you don't like adventure, close, it's an intimate group, so 8 to 12 people. If you like a bigger scale, not so intimate, maybe it's not for you, because it is very intimate, small group intentionally. For those, that connection with yourself, connection with others. So I would say that. Or if you're closed off, not open-minded, like of explore new ways, that what this whole retreat is about, is to just explore new ways for health and well-being.
Right. I love it. Okay. Well, thank you, Teresa, for coming on the show today, and wishing you all the best success with your retreat. We're going to put all of your information. If you do in the next couple of days find that practice that you do, what do you call it again? Porter.
Oh, the Porter cocktail.
If you find a document and you want to give me a link for it, I'll add that to the show notes too. Not that we have to, but
Sure.
I experienced that. I thought it was good. So I think that'd be great. And
Thank
then
you.
we'll get all your contact information in there so they'll know how to get a hold of you. And make sure I get your link to your retreat so that if they are interested in checking that out, they can as well. And until then, thank you again. And everybody, I guess we'll see you next time on the show.
All right. Thank
Bye
you.
for now.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of All Things Retreat. We hope you're leaving with new ideas, fresh inspiration, and the motivation to take your retreats to the next level. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. It helps us grow and reach more retreat leaders like you. And if you have any questions, topics you'd like us to cover, or just want to say hello, send us an email at info@weretreatrnr.com. Follow us on social media to stay connected and catch all the latest updates. Until next time, remember, great retreats start with great intentions. Let's make them extraordinary, one step at a time. Thinking about hosting a retreat? Before you dive in, let's make sure you're really ready. Grab your free Are You Retreat Ready checklist and find out if you've got everything in place, from your purpose and pricing to your audience and agenda. Don't guess. Get clear. This quick checklist will show you exactly where you stand and what you need to make your retreat a success. Click the link below in the show notes to grab your gift and take the first step toward hosting with confidence.